Hi everybody and welcome to my channel on mental health. Mental health is something that we all have. It's about how we feel with our emotions. We've all got emotions there, how we feel psychologically, how we socially connect, socially connect with others, our behaviours, how we function. It's all about mental health. That is what is mental health, our functioning, our behaviours, our actions, how we respond to things, our choices, the choices we make through life as well. And so we all have mental health, and it keeps us going through our day-to-day living, how we can function, we're connecting with others, like I said, how we feel, and sometimes it can be a bit rocky, our mental health, but it doesn't mean to say that you have an illness. There's a difference there. We can all feel low in mood from time to time, how we feel, how we're reacting to something. Sometimes that is quite normal depending on the situation. It could be good or bad, but it's when things start to prolong and you start to feel those difficulties there, start to feel like you're functioning, you can't function properly through your day-to-day living. How it may affect your mood, like the response there, your choices. You may make difficulty in making choices because you start to feel those problems. You start to feel those problems with your mental health, and making those right choices sometimes isn't the right choice. You may think you're making that right choice, but in some sense, not all the time you are. It's like being able to make that right decision in a situation, being able to handle how we handle stress. Now that's to do with mental health as well, how we handle stress. And sometimes when those problems occur, it's more difficult. Things become more difficult when something starts to affect our mental health, when mental health problems start to take effect as well. Not all the time noticing straight away that there is a problem. Sometimes things develop, slowly, or you may sort of like think, is that, you just, sometimes the mind's confused. You start to feel confused around it because you may think, well, is there a problem there? You may feel like push it to one side or so forth. There's many different reasons there as well. So the difference, so we all have mental health, but a mental illness there's a close connection there because it's to do with our mental health, but it's something that is affected our mental health, if that makes sense, and start to develop problems with how it affects you, like your mood, starting to affect your mood, low in mood, your emotions there. It starts to affect how you feel as well. Like you may feel angry or frustrated, agitated. It's how it affects your mood, like the mood swings there. But quite often it can be quite challenging for somebody that is experiencing those things, feeling confused, not being able to process what is going on straight away. You can't sort of like, you tend to not process it straight away. You imagine like you're somewhere and it's very busy, it's hectic, it's very busy, and sometimes that's how the mind feels, very busy and noisy and finding it very difficult to process what is going on alongside any other problems as well. So that's the difference between mental health and a mental illness, is when the illness becomes an illness. You know, like I said, we've all got mental health, and it's very important to take care of our well-being. All of us take care of our well-being, you know, but like I said, sometimes things can be out of our control, and things happen through lifetime big events or anything, you know. It could be a connection there, like they say, like with some illnesses, in the genes, but not always necessary. That's probably just, you know, it doesn't mean to say, you know, someone in your family has got mental health problems, everybody else is going to have it. It's just the I get my words right in a minute, it's just the genetic side of things as well. But with all illnesses, there is recovery. There is recovery. At first, like feeling scared, you know, like fear there of what's going on. But there is recovery with mental health. You can pull through it. You can recover fully from it, you know, but it's just how it makes somebody feel, or people feel. And it's something that, you know, it's like, you know, it's psychological, but it's the same as any other illness. You know, it's the same as any other illness. It's an illness where, you know, it's just something that is not noticed through other people. But the way, if you know, it can be noticed through other people, is to keep that conversation going, talking about it a bit more, you know, getting a better understanding about it a bit more, you know, things like that. And giving, you know, continuing giving that support and encouragement to others, giving people hope, you know, all back when there was, you know, the stigma that's been built up around mental health in the past, you know, through probably lack of understanding. You know, this day and age, there should not be no stigma around mental health, but, you know, it has got better. It's got better, but there is, you know, there's still that trait there that people from the past have had to carry with them, and it doesn't help that person or persons that is suffering with mental health problems. You know, you got to look at it. We've all got mental health problems, so there should not be no stigma around mental health, because it can happen to anybody. You know, it doesn't pick out specific people. It can happen to anybody. You know, the world we live in, lifetime events that happen that can just put a bit of trauma on the mind, you know, on our mental health, because that's what it is. It's like trauma. You got to think something has affected you in some sort of a way, and it's caused a bit of trauma there, and it needs to heal, you know, and it can heal. You know, mental illness can be healed, you know, like I said. So that's the difference between mental health and mental illness. You know, we all have mental health from an early age, and it's very important when from an early age, like growing up, like just looking after it and doing the best you can, keeping, you know, because it can quite often affect you. Like I said, we can all feel from time to time, but it doesn't mean to say you've got an illness. It's when things prolong, keep, like, you know, just say like, just supposing something happened that affected you, and you know, and it just kept, you know, you couldn't get out of that way of how you was, like how it, you know, the effects of it, and it prolonged, like they say with depression, You know, it has to be over a period of at least two, you know, if you're still like it, 2 weeks and you're not feeling any benefit from whatever has happened or how you're feeling, you know, your behaviour, then they say don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. If things are not going so well with your mental health, don't push it under the carpet. Do something. I know it's hard sometimes just to be able to like just go and try and get that help, because sometimes it's a bit confusing trying to explain what is going on. And it's not just that. People feel a bit like resentful around, they blame their self and go towards their self with it, because they blame their self and how they're feeling, what's going on and stuff like that. And it shouldn't be the case. It's nobody's fault. It's just something that has gone out of our control, and it just needs to be dealt with, and give yourself time to heal. You know, patience there, give yourself time to heal. You know, like they say about talking, it's not easy to talk straight away about how you're feeling. You know, it's good to talk. It's very good to talk about how you're feeling. It's expressing how you're feeling, you know, but sometimes that isn't the first thing that you want to do, you know, but it's encouraging people to try to do that, you know, try to express how they're feeling, get out what is going on with yourself, get out what's going on in your mind, you know, because the emotions connect with your thoughts, and then you start to, how the thoughts start to affect you, like the difficulties causing a lot of problems around it, like the anxiety, stress, fear of the unknown, basically. Fear that something untoward is there that's going on, when a lot of the time it's not. It's just how you're feeling within yourself and how you respond to it. See, the actions, behaviours and so forth, which is natural, because it's something that if you've got fear there, you want to protect yourself, and sometimes it's, you react in a way that sometimes you may feel a bit angry and so forth like that. The behaviours, it all becomes consuming and overwhelming as well. And trying to express sometimes isn't trying to express sometimes isn't that easy. But I would encourage people to just do what they can to express it, because once you start to express how you're feeling, you get that headspace. You'll be able to process a bit more better of what is going on as well. And plus as well, it gives, like I said, it gives you that space to be able to cope with it better. You know, sometimes starting off by writing things down, you know, if you can't talk to somebody direct, you know, writing it down. Either way, there's many ways of expressing how you feel, you know, getting it out of your head, getting it out, expressing and being able to cope better and processing those feelings a bit better, writing it down. So, like I said, this video is about mental health and a mental illness. So it is important. Mental health in general is important because it helps us how we get along in life, socially, how we function, how the choices we make, how, you know, our day-to-day living, our day-to-day things, how we react to things, how we can cope with certain things like stress. Sometimes you can cope with that stress if you've got that resilience and good mental health. you can cope with it and get out of just little difficulties. Sometimes you can get out of it without it causing so much of a problem, you know. But like I said, sometimes it's out of our control and things happen. But like I said, there is recovery for mental health and mental illness. There is recovery there. There's hope. Hold on to that hope, because sometimes when you're in it, you can't see that there is something else there, that better there. You know, that's where the encouragement and a bit of understanding from other people can give people all that hope there. You know, the encouragement there. And also as well, don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself, because it can get better. It can only get better. It's all about what you do that's going to help with it, and how you respond to it, your response to it as well. And like I said, I always say in my videos, don't give up on the first hurdle. These things take time. You know, you've got to remember, just think of it as trauma. It takes a bit of time to heal as well, and everybody heals. Some are quicker than others as well. So mental health is important, because it helps us through our day-to-day living and how we are with things and so forth. So I'm going to end the video there. Please share this video, because like I said, mental health is important, and we should take care of it. Take care of ourselves better, because sometimes we quite often just don't. We don't, you know, look after ourselves, be a bit kinder to ourselves and a bit easier on ourselves. It all makes a difference. Those little things all makes a difference. And like I've done in my other video, being kind to somebody else, kindness, you know, take care of yourself, kindness towards yourself and kindness towards others. It can just make a difference there. And before I go, I must say, today the weather is just so nice. The sun is just so nice. And that's another thing as well. Natural sunlight is very good for us. And it's very good to get out and about as much as you can to help with your well-being. You know, seeing the change from winter to spring, the difference, seeing the flowers, hearing the birds singing. Every little thing helps with our well-being, and how we, you know, our senses, how we notice, being aware, being mindful as well is another thing. It's very good for us, our well-being. So yeah, I'm going to end the video there. Like I said, please share. Don't forget to give us a like. If you wish to subscribe, feel free to. It's free to do. It don't cost anything. And see you in the next video.